No, if she's gonna detain me, then crack on. No, unless she's detaining me.
Okay, Matt.
Hey guys, so today we are in Chadwell Heath and we are going to go and visit the police station down here and see if we can get some photos, videos, marked cars and stuff, and hopefully leave them a review. So stay tuned. I was just
taking pictures of the police base?
No, just like if there's a car coming out, a marked car.
Obviously, from my point of view, it's a security risk if you're taking pictures of not necessarily marked cars, but other people's cars, officers' cars, things like that.
Right, yeah, it's just marked cars, yeah.
Why are you taking pictures of the cars? Can we see the pictures of the cars?
Well, it's
the picture of the marked cars. It's not
yeah, that's all it is. It's just these.
Cars obviously aren't. You can take pictures of cars all day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not a problem. It's just
yeah.
I'm just interested to see if there's any pictures of any kind of potentially officers' cars that you've got on there.
Well, even if there was, it doesn't matter about that, does it? I mean, I said I won't get them, but even if they were on there, it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to take pictures of officers' private cars though?
In this video, Matt travels to Chadwell Heath with the aim of capturing images of Metropolitan Police vehicles. Not long after he arrives, an officer approaches him to ask what he's doing. To be fair, the initial exchange remains respectful from both sides. The officer raises concerns about photos being taken of privately owned cars, while Matt clarifies that his focus is only on officially marked police vehicles. The conversation stays polite and composed, coming across as a straightforward and reasonable interaction between two individuals. However, this situation doesn't stay this calm for long. This is one of those audits where the real tension builds later on, so it's important to notice how the encounter begins compared to how it eventually unfolds.
I said I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to.
I don't know that you're not. That's all. From our point of view.
Alright, yeah.
If you look at it, there's no law to stop you taking pictures of the cars or anything like that at all. All the place all I'm asking you is if you can show me that there's no private cars coming out of that base. That's all I'm asking.
There isn't. I'll give you my word there isn't. But it's like I say, even if there was, it doesn't matter anyway. But I've no reason to get them. I'm just getting these.
Why doesn't it matter?
Because
it matters to me if you've got my car on there and I don't know you, I don't know what you're going to do.
Right.
Are you going to be putting it on the internet?
For example, not just a police car. Say if a Porsche 911 Turbo comes down here, I'm going to get a picture of it, whether it's your car or not. Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you've got a nice car, I'll be getting a picture of it, whether it's in your base or whether it's outside your base. If you've got something like that, I mean, if you've got a Ford Fiesta, I'm not going to bother, but...
And I said there's no laws against you taking those pictures.
Yeah.
All I'm asking you is, if you have them, why would you be taking pictures of officers' private cars if you're doing that?
Right. Number one, I haven't, and I'm not. Number two, if there was an occasion something like that, if one of you was really well off, and like you say, you had like a supercar or a car of interest, well, that's what I'm saying, then I probably would. But other than that, I'm not. It's only the marked cars I'm after.
What's your name, madam?
Matt.
What's your surname, Matt?
I just do this for a sort of hobby, and like I say, I just go around doing this, so I tend not to give my name out all the time because people are always asking me. I just don't want it running.
Obviously, we just want to make sure nothing untoward's going on. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Well, there isn't. It's only pictures of the marked cars.
What's your surname, Matt?
Car pictures. Like I said, I don't want to give.
The officer continues to focus on the issue of privately owned vehicles, but Matt responds with a clear and logical comparison. He explains that if something like a Porsche 911 drove by on a public road, he would take a photo of it as well, no matter who the owner is. His point highlights a key principle in the UK. Capturing images of anything visible from a public place is typically within the law. Throughout this exchange, Matt remained composed and cooperative. However, the officer repeatedly returns to the same concern, even after it's been addressed. As the conversation goes in circles, the tension gradually starts to build.
Name out, I'd rather not. I'm only taking some pictures of police cars.
As my colleagues explained, obviously it's a bit odd you're doing like mock.
It's not odd. Have you not seen on like YouTube and Flickr and stuff?
But not outside police bases.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've seen loads of videos of police cars whizzing down the road and stuff.
Yeah.
They're not coming out of police bases.
If you go on YouTube and you Google any police station, you'll see videos of it.
Is that from you or from other people?
Well, no, from loads of people. Yeah, I do, but again, it's not something I give out because it's obviously you get people commenting on the videos and stuff, and it's just I sort of like keep it private for a small audience, just like family and friends and stuff. So, but yeah, if you go on YouTube, you'll see videos on there of pretty much every police station nowadays. It's yeah.
I don't doubt what you're saying. And like I said, with the marked cars, the officers, there's nothing to stop you taking the pictures. We're just concerned that you're maybe videoing officers' private cars coming out of here, and then maybe putting them on the internet with these are police officers' cars.
Oh no, it's not like that.
That can cause us problems.
But the thing is, if someone wanted to use that information, what they would do, they wouldn't wait for a video to by chance come up on the internet. They would come down here and do it themselves. They wouldn't look for a video.
Yeah, so if you're
right,
don't know you.
So you're not worried about the camera then? You're worried about me just being here?
No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not got any problems with you videoing the cars, the police officers or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I have said before, but all I'm concerned about is that you're videoing officers' private cars, which again, you know, we can't really stop you doing.
At this stage, the discussion begins to go in circles. The officer requests Matt's last name, but Matt respectfully chooses not to provide it, explaining that what he's doing is simply a personal hobby. He adds some context by mentioning platforms like YouTube and Flickr, pointing out that there's an entire community involved in similar activities. Importantly, his refusal to share personal details doesn't equate to a lack of cooperation. He continues to communicate openly about his purpose, while setting a clear boundary around his private information, a distinction that becomes increasingly relevant as the situation progresses.
Because you just said that if those people were that way inclined, they would just simply come down here and do it themselves. So how do I know that's not what you're here for?
That could be the case for anyone that walks past.
I think I'm perfectly entitled to stop and ask you what you're doing and why you
right.
do that.
Yeah, I know, and you have done, and I've told you. This is what I'm saying.
We're trying to obviously make sure nothing untoward's happening.
How?
Giving me your surname.
How can anything untoward happen?
I mean, are you deliberately after confrontation with the police? Is that?
If I was after confrontation with the police, I'd be giving you hell now. So no, obviously not.
I've not said you're breaking any laws or anything like that. I've not asked you to stop. I've not tried to.
No, that yeah. But if you say that I'm after confrontation, I'd admit. I'd flat say I wouldn't be being civil with you. I'd just tell you to bugger off, sort of thing.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, from my point of view, I don't understand why you would want a video. I mean, the marked cars, like I said, is fine.
Yeah.
Just making sure you're not videoing private officers' cars. That's all.
You can't make sure of that, though, can you?
All right. I can't stop you doing it. No.
Right. I've said I'm not going to. I've no reason to.
But you won't show me that you've
Well,
been...
I'm recording at the moment. No, I can't stop my video. I give you my word. I will not get any. Even if they're really nice cars, I will not put them on. And if there is any by accident, I will blur the number plates out. I'll do this with other people if they say, because a lot of them do have concerns about private cars and things. And I say, yeah, no problem. I can understand that. I can blur it out.
People that would want to maybe cause us harm and stuff like that, and you know, it's just not.
I get your concerns with it. Yeah.
At this point, the officer openly acknowledges a key detail. He states that he doesn't have the authority to prevent Matt from recording, even when private vehicles are in view. That's an important admission in the context of the situation. Matt responds by taking an extra step, assuring the officer that if any private number plates are captured unintentionally, they'll be blurred. Offers like this usually help create mutual understanding and ease concerns. However, the dynamic shifts once another officer enters the scene later on, and that initial sense of cooperation is put under real pressure.
But you've got my word, no private vehicles will go on the internet or anything like that, or not even on my own camera, regardless. It's just marked cars, that's all it is.
Okay.
Alright.
You won't give us your
I'd rather not. It's just, I don't want it sort of going about all the time, every time I come and do some like videos and photos and stuff. But I mean, you can let them know in there that I'm here and what I'm doing, so they don't have to keep stopping and that. So.
No, people will be suspicious and people will stop you.
People are always going to.
But if you, well, I was going to say, like I say, if you've let them know you've spoke to me already.
The problem is circumstances can change, can't they?
What's your YouTube channel?
Hang on a minute.
Is that a public thing or is it a private?
No, it's private. Yeah,
private.
Yeah. It's just for a set group. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Could I just get your phone numbers, by the way, while I'm at it?
Yeah, of course you can.
What is it?
3896.
Charles.
1544.
1544.
My surname's Johnston.
Johnson. Right. Could you just elaborate how you mean it could change with the space of time that I'm here? I don't quite follow it. Have you had no one down at this one before doing videos and stuff or pictures?
So, I'll be honest, we have had people down here.
All right, yeah.
And sometimes these people are fixated people, so they may have mental health problems, they may be obsessed with the police,
Yeah.
they may wish to do police officers harm. This is why I asked if you're after a confrontation with the police.
Oh no, hence why I've explained, yeah.
Some people carry weapons.
Yeah.
They express permission to do police officers harm, knowing full well that they're going to get spoken to by the police
Yeah.
for this kind of activity, which I've said isn't illegal. And I'm not even trying to suggest you stop doing what you're doing.
All right, that's no problem, yeah.
So that's what my colleague means, is it can change, as in people's temper, people's mood can change, people are not being stopped and spoken to. So this
I think you've worked that out with a pair of yous that I'm perfectly all right and I don't mind being spoken to.
I don't know you at all. I know the
I
border police have stopped someone out here, was armed with a knife, and he had come down here specifically to cause harm to the police, which is why we're speaking to you now, to make sure you're not one of these fixated people who's going to do us harm.
The officer then points out that situations can change, which prompt Matt to ask for clarification. In response, the officer brings up a past incident, explaining that someone had previously come to the station carrying a knife. While that background is relevant and understandable to mention, applying it to someone who has remained calm and cooperative throughout this interaction feels like a leap, and the reasoning soon becomes even more strained. Within minutes, another officer joins the scene and escalates matters by initiating a Section 1 pay search. What began as a respectful conversation quickly turns into a situation where Matt is physically searched on camera, marking a clear shift in how the encounter is handled.
No, like I say, I've explained what I'm doing. I'm just here to take pictures and some videos of the marked cars leaving, and that's it. So,
Okay. Alright.
Alright.
Matt, is it Matt?
Matt, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, you too.
Right.
See you later. I wouldn't say that was actually good cop, bad cop. I would say it was more good cop, miserable cop. Good cop, sour face cop. I won't be long. I'm not going to be hanging around all day. Don't cry. Be gone soon. Right, so we've got a private vehicle coming out now, so I'm going to stop it but not point it away. He's trying to get out with a cone.
Matt parts ways with the first set of officers on a positive note, even making a light-hearted remark about good cop, sour face cop as they walk off. He appears at ease and continues with his plan to capture footage. At one point, when a privately owned vehicle passes by, he deliberately turns his camera aside as a sign of respect. It's a small action, but it clearly reflects his intentions. That brief period of calm, however, doesn't last long. The situation is about to shift much more quickly than anticipated.
Your Reds, don't worry, it's just chap sort of leave the station here with a phone stuck under his wheel. I don't think he heard it because he had his headphones in all fairness, but right, seems to be getting underneath his bumper a bit now. on me. How rude. It's going to be causing a few problems. Right, I'm going to shut this off and go and try and help them, so just bear with me. And the car is freed. And that was me who rescued that fella there, so no more of this. I've got a problem with the police, otherwise you'd still be there, guys. So anyway, interesting events here at Chadwell Heath. So I think I'm going to move on in a second.
Then comes a moment that feels completely unexpected. As an officer drives out of the station, a traffic cone becomes large beneath the vehicle. Matt immediately pauses filming, walks over, and helps remove it. He returns with dirt on his knees and a smile on his face. Stepping in to assist someone in the middle of an audit is a strong display of positive intent. It's a clear indication of goodwill, something worth remembering when the next interaction unfolds.
I'm going to visit another place, and well, I'll just give it 5 minutes to see what goes on here, but if I don't see you again in a sec, I shall catch you next time with another audit, guys. See you later. Hey, alright?
Police officer that work here.
Alright.
Just like some pictures, just curious as to what you're
Alright, I've already spoke to these chaps here. I just explained to them what I'm doing. I'm just getting some shots of the marked cars. I was just waiting for that one to leave actually so I can get a video of it.
Oh, okay, well, you've spoken to them already?
Yeah, yes.
Do you live around here?
No, I'm from up north. Probably tell by my accent.
Okay, to here. What brings you to here though?
Just for having a day out in London. Oh,
Where are you going today in London?
City centre.
Oh right, where did you stay?
I drove down this morning.
Oh okay. It's just odd that you've come to Chadwell Heath. It's not the area where most people come.
If you have to a police station, it's...
Maybe you just show us those pictures you've taken.
I can't at the moment, I'm recording. I'm doing a vlog. Yeah.
Just stay there, mate.
Hang on a minute. Whoa. Right, just explain what I'm doing. I'm taking some pictures and stuff. I already spoke to these chaps here.
Okay, that's fine.
I've come down to London to do some photos and videos of the Met Police cars, the marked cars, etc, etc. That's all it is.
That's fine, mate, but as you say, you're obviously the current climate we're in, you're obviously terrorism, especially right-wing terrorism as well. That's why we've come out to speak to you.
Right, it's you should be all aware you've had memos regarding people doing photos and videos. They're all over YouTube. Everyone does them, marked cars and stuff at the police station. No. You've been told by your superiors if there's a genuine concern of terror, you get in touch with a counter-terror squad. You don't deal with it yourself.
Mate, that's complete nonsense.
That's not, mate.
At the end of the day, mate, you're here filming a police station.
Right. Alright, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So I've been nice, I've spoke to them, I was nice to them about it. So that's what I'm doing.
That's fine. Have you got your ID on them?
No, you're not getting me ID, you're not getting me details. No. And even if I did, you won't be getting it.
Why is that though?
Because you're not entitled to it.
Yeah, we just do this a bit more.
Was I alright with you about it, you two? I was perfectly fine, wasn't I?
You were perfectly fine.
Explained everything, yeah. I even helped the chap who got stuck in there. Got myself grazed knees, guys.
Yeah. So what's your first name? Sorry. Matt.
Yeah.
The issue we've got, Matt, is you've travelled all the way from north.
It doesn't matter where I've travelled from. It doesn't matter if I've travelled from. It doesn't matter if I've travelled from France to do it.
Road, I can understand why it brought you to here.
It doesn't matter. I could come here from 1,000 miles away just for the day, and it won't matter. If I want to do that, I'll do it.
I understand, mate. It's my job is to obviously confirm who you are and why you're here.
It's not your job to confirm who I am and why I'm here. No, it's not. It's none of your business, that.
Unfortunately, for my security, my colleagues.
It's not. Right, are you detaining me?
Sorry?
Are you detaining me?
Well, mate, I'm trying to have a conversation.
I've finished having a conversation. I've explained what I'm doing to these guys. Don't come down here and tell me I'm only allowed to come down and take pictures if I'm local or if I'm staying in a hotel, etc, etc, or I'm here on... Are you listening?
I think this is enough
I
to
think he's...
turn them over
He's not. I've been nice to you guys. I've told you what I'm doing.
Not to be nice to these.
Right, no, he's coming up and he's demanding the ID and he's suggesting that I'm not allowed to do it, etc, etc. Have you got some ID, mate?
Like I've already explained to you, we do get fixated people that do hang around the police stations and they do want to do us harm. Alright? So
with a camera, we've already been through this.
Yeah, we have. However, I think so, yeah. You've attracted another set of police officers' attentions, haven't you?
Yeah, just let me speak to these guys.
But if you speak to the uniform officers, because I'm speaking to my colleague.
Right, well, I was going to say, if you're going to detain me and search me, there's going to be a lawsuit because it's an unlawful detainment and an unlawful search. No, if she's going to detain me, then crack on. No, unless she's detaining me.
When another officer turns up, the tone changes straight away. He questions why Matt has come down from the north, suggesting it seems unusual, and begins pressing him for identification. By this point, Matt has already gone through everything with the earlier officers and was allowed to continue. Going over the same ground again, despite that prior interaction, doesn't align with how the situation had just been handled. Then the possibility of a search is raised, and that's the moment the encounter takes a more serious turn.
Section 1 of Pace, what's that?
Don't put your hands out your pockets, don't do that, don't do that.
Right, just to let you know, I'm back on
Would you like a copy of the search record?
Yeah. Are you guys on record?
Yes.
Right, you're supposed to tell people when you start recording, you don't just turn it on.
See the camera here?
It doesn't matter.
Overt camera.
You tell them.
It's an overt camera, sorry, I don't have to tell anyone.
If that's on, you tell them that you're filming, you don't just turn it on.
Matthew, for future reference, when officers speak to you, you can just obviously give them all your details.
I don't have to give them my details, pal.
What I'm saying, Matthew, so it's better for you. So if
Right.
you're going to record outside police stations, just give them all your details.
I'm not going to be giving anyone my details. I don't have to. What did you say your name was again, or your number?
McDarby.
Right, you're going to be getting spoken to about this. That was an unlawful search. It was. You will get retrained on this. You'll get told, you'll get brought up to date on the procedure for this.
I think you need to update yourself.
I don't need to, you'll be getting updated. What was your number again?
254-730 even.
Right, and you'll be getting retrained. And you'll be getting spoken to. No, this is serious.
It is very serious.
Right.
As my colleagues explained, in the current climate, we can't be...
The current climate, you need to stop using the current climate. You're going to get that took off you like... You are going to get that took off you like you did with the previous terrorism act.
Matthew, you won't.
It's none of your business. Listen,
You're asking us questions.
I'm allowed to.
Able to ask, and I'm able to ask you questions.
Right, and I'm declining.
You're being difficult.
No, I'm being difficult since you searched me, unlawfully searched me. No, I wasn't. I've got it on video, love. It'll be going on YouTube and people will see how nice I was to them. And then they will see what tyrants you are.
You could have easily explained.
I'm not obliged to. I did. Did I explain why I was here? Bearing in mind it's on camera.
I've said yes, you did.
Yes, I did. So there you go. I spoke on this camera and I told you that I told these guys what I was doing. So don't say that I didn't tell you.
But then you could have offered them that information, that evidence.
I'm not obliged to.
No, I know you're not, but to be less difficult.
No, you don't just search someone just because your butt hurt. It's simple as that, and that's all it comes down to. Your butt hurt. You're upset. Your feelings are hurt because I won't give me details out. That's what it was all about, and you know what it was. Right, you three will be getting retrained. Not you, love. These two will be getting retrained, and you'll be getting spoken to.
Thank you, I look forward to it.
Right, would you like to say anything to the viewers watching about your unlawful search? You've got an audience of probably about 50 or 75,000 people by the end of the week. Go on.
It's a very broad audience, I believe. But there we go.
Well, it is, yeah. Go on. Section 1 of Pace you searched me on.
I'm going to get back to my training.
Section 1 of Pace you searched me on. Yeah?
Matthew, I suggest if you just move on.
No, I will stay here all day if I want to, pal, and you won't do a thing about it. Alright?
Okay. Right, take it, Matthew.
Off you go.
Try to get run over, Matthew.
I won't. I hope you get run over, pal. Say hello to your family and friends on YouTube, pal. The tyrant. You're alright, I'm got no issues with you. I was alright with you, but he's a prat.
This is a turning point. The officer proceeds with what appears to be a Section 1 Pace search, and Matt is visibly surprised by the sudden escalation. Such a search generally depends on having reasonable grounds to believe someone may be carrying prohibited items, rather than simply because a person chose not to share their surname. Matt highlights that the earlier officers had already spoken with him, evaluated the situation, and allowed him to continue without issue. The difference between that initial approach and what's happening now is striking.
Like I've said to you, people want to do us harm. I'm not saying you do want to do us harm, but we don't know. Until we speak to people and do searches,
Yes,
things like that,
I get
we
that.
don't know.
You cannot just go around searching people in case you think they might do you harm. You've got to have what's called reasonable grounds, and you didn't. And I know for a fact you didn't, because I am right up to the top, to the T on the law, and that was an unlawful search.
Right. You know all the recourse you've got with complaints and raising concerns you've got with the police, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
As long as you're up to date with that,
I am, yeah.
You can make a complaint, you can do anything you want like that.
Yeah,
All
that's no problem, I will be, yeah.
And then it'll get looked at, and then they'll make sure that everything we've done is above board and what have you. Okay?
Right, yeah. Could I just ask you for the record, when you spoke to us before, why didn't you search us at the time? Is there a reason why you let it go and they didn't? What was different?
One of the conversations I had with my colleague when we got back in the car was about searching you. All right. You seemed reasonable. There is information on there, and it is a picture of a person who looks very similar to you. May not be you, but does look very similar. It's taken from afar. Who has got mental health problems? Who has been hanging around police stations, and he was armed with a knife.
Right.
All right. Now that is on that briefing slide that we've got. He's a white male, bald. Doesn't say height.
Now all my viewers are going to know that I'm bald.
Edit that last little bit out.
I will, they already know, I think, to be honest with you, so... Yeah, at the end of the day, it's... but bottom line is, that was an unlawful search. You need reasonable grounds, dude.
I will disagree with you on that. If you feel that you are absolutely bang right that it was an unlawful search, you know as well as anyone, as you said, you're up to the point with the law, you can make a complaint.
Right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, well, that's it, innit? That's all there is to it, so...
Do you need any help for any reason?
No, I'm good. No. Not like that. No.
You don't need any medical care or anything?
No, all good. See you later, Tyrant. Say hello to all your friends, don't forget. Give them a wave. We can see what a twat you are. You're going to be famous, pal. I'm going to make you famous. Chadwell Heath. Drop that dick, read some comments. Yeah, searched us under section 1 of pace. Because he suspected that I was carrying a weapon because I fit the description of someone else allegedly that they had a picture of. Well, a lot of codswallop. Anything for a bit of touchy-feely. And to believe that I actually helped them towing that bloody thing and removing the corn, etc, etc. And there you go. My lesson learnt, innit? And just for the record, no details were given.
Following the search, one of the initial officers returns and engages in a calmer, more balanced discussion. He mentions that a briefing had circulated about an individual resembling Matt who had previously been armed near police stations. While that background provides some context, Matt's main argument remains relevant and worth considering. 3 key points stand out from this audit. First, recording from public spaces is generally permitted, and a clear, respectful explanation is often enough to address concerns. Second, carrying out a Section 1 pay search usually depends on having to find reasonable grounds, rather than simply reacting to someone declining to provide identification. Third, the difference between officers who choose to defuse a situation and those who escalate it highlights how these encounters are perceived by the public. Share your thoughts in the comments about which part stood out the most. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing so you don't miss upcoming content. This material is intended for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal advice. Always refer to local laws.